Welcome to week 4 of our personal finance course. This week we're going to focus on taxes and tax strategy. We hear a lot about taxes in our society. Most of us pay taxes in some form almost every day, based on the income we earn, the consumption we take part in, and even the money we save. That's right, almost everything we do in life has a tax component. Many taxes are visible and easy to understand, and sometimes even easy to calculate. But some forms of taxes are more complicated and even hidden to the end payer. Most of us are not fully aware of the way taxes impact our personal financial health and our efforts to create wealth. Think about a typical day in the life of a college student that has a part-time job. When they fill up their car with gasoline, about 42 cents of every gallon of gas purchased in Michigan goes to state and federal gasoline taxes. That's about 26 cents to the state and about 19 cents to the federal government. Plus, there's 6% that goes towards state sales tax, in addition to the state gasoline tax. With gasoline costing today about $2 a gallon, that's about 25% of every dollar you put in your car goes to taxes. If you have a 16-gallon tank, this means $8 of that money you paid for the gasoline goes to taxes. Now, this is not a commentary about if that is or is not an appropriate or fair amount to pay in taxes, but it should emphasize the need for you to understand the role of taxes. Gasoline taxes tend to be invisible to most consumers. When we drive by a gas station, we just see the amount per gallon on the sign and likely think that those dollars are just shared by the refiners, the transporters, oil companies, and gas station owners, without thinking about the fact that a full quarter or 25% of what you pay in Michigan is just to pay taxes. Then, if you stop at a drive-thru for a $10 meal, you have an extra 60 cents right there in taxes. But that's not where the taxes end on your meal. The restaurant owner had to pay taxes on the property and had to pay Social Security and unemployment taxes for their employees, plus sales tax on a variety of equipment they use in their restaurant. But remember, when I say the restaurant owner pays, remember the restaurant owner doesn't pay on their own. They don't pay out of a vacuum. All of those taxes are actually paid by you as the consumer as a part of the cost of the product. So in essence, the consumer or you are paying all those taxes. But those are hidden taxes that are baked into the cost of product. Remember also that in these two examples, the drive-thru and the gasoline, the college students are paying all of these taxes after they're paying with money that has already went through the income tax system, where a portion of what they earned on the job was removed from them and sent on to the government for the good of society. Income tax and sales tax usually are the most visible to people. They think about them and know about them because it's itemized on their weekly pay stub or their sales receipt when they purchase something. Taxes are often referred to as the primary method to create revenue to run the government, which in turn provides things like schools, roads, defense, water systems, parks, and other things the government spends money on. Now, it's not our purpose in this class to debate what is good or what is bad in government spending. Those topics are always controversial. While most everyone agrees that a decent road system is an important expenditure for society, there are other expenditures that are subject to much more disagreement. Just turn on the news and you'll quickly hear people debating about how much we spend on defense and police departments versus social services and mental health. Again, it's not our purpose in this class to try to debate those things, but you need an awareness of how your taxes can cumulatively, especially when stacked on one another, make a significant impact on how you are able to control your spending and ability to accumulate wealth over time. When we talk about income tax, we're talking about the amount of money the federal government, the state government, and local governments take from your income, the income you earn to support services that they provide. The tax code is a set of laws and rules that govern how the taxes are collected and by what formula. Organizations like the State Department of Treasury and the Internal Revenue uses tax code to develop how they're going to collect and from who. Now, this is used in part to collect the amount of monies needed to operate the government and provide goods and services that society demands. If the prime objective of the tax code was to provide funds for the government, the tax code could simply be something like, you earned X amount of money, now send us X% of that. But the tax code instead is much more complicated. It's built to be used as a carrot and a stick to entice people and to punish people for their specific behavior. We use the tax code to encourage things like investing in education, installation of energy efficient improvements in one's home, or making other choices that we as a society think is wise. You may say all these things are good and appropriate use of the tax code. That's okay. And again, it's not meant to be the focus of this class, but it's important for you to understand that the tax code is built, at least in part, to manipulate people's behavior instead of simply providing a mechanism to collect funding. In 2017, Politico published an article stating that a downloaded copy of Title 26, which is essentially the U.S. tax code, was more than 6,500 pages long. Others have stated that they believe the totality of the tax code may be 10 times that size. Let's give the benefit of the doubt, and we'll stick with the 6,500 figure. It's no wonder that so many individuals and most businesses need to hire people just to sort it out. Let that sink in a minute. The process is so complex that many people have to pay just to figure out how to properly pay their taxes. This is in part thanks to lobbyists and politicians wanting to use the code as a way to promote their own causes and exercise power over the citizens through the use of the tax code. So for the educated consumer, it's critical to have an understanding of how the tax code works, how to navigate it, how to pay what you're required to pay, but not pay beyond that amount. That is what we'll be focusing on this week in our personal finance course. Thanks